Oh, there you are, YouTube. Doodle 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 doo. Subscribe if you're interested, but also no pressure. Excuse me. I thought we might do a random ranking today. What do you say? Let's say we go to my movie collection behind me and pick out 3 movies at random and then rank those movies based on whatever criteria we come up with. I'll rank them here in the video, but if you'd like to rank them in the comments below, please feel free to do so. Let's get to picking some movies. We're going to pick 3 of them. Let's do something from this side, deep on the right. And then maybe another one right here. And then, who knows, maybe we'll do this one. Let's see what happens. Oh, let's see if we've seen them. Yes. Gosh, been a while. And then yes. Some dinner there. Okay. First off, we have Reservoir Dogs. This is a Tarantino film. This is like Tarantino's big first film. And, well, actually, I think he made, like, one that, like, nobody ever saw. It was just kind of like a throwaway type thing. Maybe he was just practicing or something, right? Isn't there something before this? But I don't even think we have access to it. But I think if you look at his IMDb, and maybe he's talked about it in interviews and stuff, there is one before this. But when we're talking about, like, true, like, theater-ready movies, this is the first. Sorry for that yawn. I'm a little tired. Oh, look at this. Orange, white, pink, yellow. Right? You know the singer Pink got her name from this movie. Right here. So this movie, I feel like, is very economical. It's very bare bones, which makes sense for a debut film, for it to be that way. But I saw this movie after seeing a handful of others, because I saw this after probably, you know, I'd seen Pulp Fiction, I had seen Kill Bill, I'd seen Kill Bill 2, probably, I'm trying to think what was after that, after Jackie Brown. So yeah, regardless, a handful of his films had already come out before I had finally seen this one, and I feel like, yeah, it's just like very bare bones, which is cool, it's awesome. But when I think of his stuff that he does down the road, his more recent stuff, and he has more tools at his disposal, I don't know, I'm just kind of into that a little bit more. So while this is great and has so much going for it, and it's a fantastic movie, and it's impressive how good it is based on the budget and everything, is very impressive. But I still think I like when he has a little bit more cash to use, because this one is like low middle on my Tarantino list, or maybe just middle, low middle, probably on my Tarantino list. But it's not because of quality. It's just because he's made so many good films. And how do you rank them? You know? Who knows? I'd love to know. Next we have XXX from the director of Fast and the Furious. Apologies again. So I remember most about this, and I really became a fan of it after watching a movie called The Cutting Edge, I think. A documentary called that, Cutting Edge. And it's all about editing, film editing. And they pointed out this great scene in this movie where Xander Cage, Vin Diesel, is jumping on a motorcycle just like he's getting some good air. And they had this editing technique called Picasso editing. So if you know anything about Picasso and Cubism, it's sort of taking a figure where normally with our eyes, you know, we see it in 3 dimensions because we have 2 eyes, but still, he's sort of taking the 2-dimensional plane where normally it has just an image from a single point of view, but instead he's sort of unfolding the figure in multiple points of view so that we can see like maybe the profile of a nose, but also the front of a nose, the front of an eye, the front of a face, but also the profile of the face. We're seeing those things simultaneously, right? And there's a moment with that jump, motorcycle jump, where we're seeing the same portion of the jump, but from multiple angles to help create a more dynamic situation and cinematic and explosive and fun visual of this jump that Xander Cage does during an explosion. So we're seeing the same moment over and over again in this editing that's happening, but we're seeing it from multiple points of view, which is really cool. So it's like we see the jump, but then we also see the jump maybe from the front, but then we see again that same little section of the jump, but from the side view. And we're maybe from underneath or maybe from above. You know, we just keep seeing it over and over again. It's the same portion of this jump that he's doing, but from multiple angles. Therefore, Picasso, you know, again, think of Cubism, breaking down the form, or making, I don't know, breaking down is even the right word, I guess. Yeah, breaking down a three-dimensional form into a two-dimensional plane from multiple viewpoints. And that's really cool. That's an awesome thing about this movie. But the plot, I don't remember. I don't remember. Next thing we have War of the Worlds. I'm talking about Steven Spielberg over here. I'm talking about my favorite director of all time. I'm talking about maybe wearing this hat right here just to showcase the man of the hour, Steven Spielberg, who directed this movie, War of the Worlds, right here. And Dakota Fanning is in this. What did I just see Dakota Fanning in? Oh, she's in a movie called, I believe it's called The Watchers. Just recently reviewed that on the channel. Feel free to take a look at it if you're interested. Pure Hangout, The Watchers is probably the best way to find it. It's made by M. Night Shyamalan's daughter, whose name escapes me right now. I apologize for that. But, yeah. Little Dakota Fanning was playing an adult in that movie. It's just weird, you know? I always knew her as like this kid actor, but now she's, you know, people grow up. It's weird. But this movie's great. I actually really like this film. I think Steven Spielberg did some interesting stuff here. And when it comes to aliens, you know, he usually has a very positive outlook on aliens, but this one is a little bit more negative, right? And that was, I think I remember him saying that was difficult for him to do because he wanted to shed them in a positive light. But here they're negative. But this was him, oh my gosh, today is 9/11. Today is 9/11. But this movie was sort of him trying to, gosh, what's the word? Like, process 9/11 in a way, and a lot of the imagery that we see here of Tom Cruise and other people, extras, and just everyone in the movie, when they're covered in that gray dust, that was heavily inspired by a lot of the people who were around the two towers, survived the two towers, didn't survive the two towers, that were covered in dust during that terrorist attack. So that's just interesting that I pulled this. Speaking of, though, if you are looking for a 9/11 movie to watch, the entire movie really isn't about this, but it's showcasing that this takes place in a post 9/11 world. Is Spike Lee's 25th Hour. That is a great movie. It's one of my favorite films by Spike Lee, probably my second favorite Spike Lee movie, but the opening credits showcase one of the 9/11 memorials with the beams of light that are shining up into the sky from the location of where the two towers were. It's a very powerful opening scene. Opening credits, I should say. It's not really a scene, it's just, you know, an establishing shot. But what it establishes is that this movie is going to take place in New York City in a post 9/11 world. So anyway, check out The 25th Hour by Spike Lee. Great movie. How are we going to rank these? I think this is actually pretty easy for me. I'm going to go ahead and go War of the Worlds. My buddy Stevie right here making that film. And then we're going to go Reservoir Dogs. Great economical film. Doing some amazing things on a shoestring budget. Not really like showcasing dollars on screen, but just showcasing amazing story and dialogue and things like that. Just really showing off, Tarantino showing off what he has to offer and letting Hollywood know, hey, I'm here. You wanna let me be a filmmaker? I'm ready. So yeah, here we go. XXX at the end over there has that really cool shot. So the editing, I should say. Next, so there we go. War of the Worlds, Reservoir Dogs, and XXX. So my question to you is, have you seen these films? These three right here. And if so, what do you think of them? And if you've seen all three, how would you rank them? I'd love to know. Let me know in the comments below. And perhaps we'll see you tomorrow for more Pure Hangout.